All right, welcome back. I'm trying to dig into all angles of the maniac stuff going on in our world, but on the business front, lots of good things going on. The Dow is kind of holding right around this 27,000 level, down $1.20 today, but as I've talked to you many times before, there is seemingly some sort of reverse correlation between Bitcoin and the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Many times when the Dow is up, Bitcoin will be down a bit, and when Bitcoin is up, the Dow will be down a little bit. That's in full effect today with Bitcoin up nicely at 9,500 and the Dow down 115 at 26,890. I warn you over and over that I think in the short term there will be one more spike of volatility that will knock the market down significantly. And one of the things brewing that it could be related to, I'll tell you, I don't know if you saw this story, but U.S. government gave the communist Chinese government 72 hours to close down their consulate in Houston. So, you know, I think China operates like 6 consulates around the country: San Francisco, Houston, D.C., you know, there's 5, I think there's 6 of them around here. And as our good friend Erin Elmore, the head of USA Strong, was telling us yesterday, that this China's Confucius program, where they give money to universities and academic institutions. They pump money in there so that they can get fake exchange students and exchange teachers over, like scientists and stuff, to be part of this program. And they all really turn out to be intelligence agents of China that they're trying to get into our country and get into our educational system. And they're doing a heck of a job on it. There is one particular Chinese supposed researcher who was doing some research at the University of Cal, and it turns out that the government started asking him questions, if he was an agent of the Chinese Communist Party, if he was ever in the army, and he's answering no, 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 and then a little cursory check. It turns out that the guy's an intel agent, and what does he do? He runs to the consulate, the Chinese consulate in San Francisco. And apparently, you know, if you're a foreign dignitary, you get to hang out in the consulate, and the law enforcement powers of the U.S. government don't extend inside the walls of the consulate. So they may be harboring one fugitive that we're looking for in the San Francisco consulate, and maybe more is afoot with Houston. And I can tell you this, back in December, when Donald Trump said he agreed to phase 1 of the trade deal with China, where China agreed to stop manipulating their currency, they agreed to stop ripping off our intellectual property, and they agreed to some small reciprocal tariffs. I said back then, we should be very fearful of an attack on our power grid. We should be very fearful on an attack on our Wi-Fi systems. We should be very fearful of an attack on our banking systems. And I said, you know, if everybody goes to the ATM tomorrow and puts a thing in and no money comes out, there will be panic in the streets. And China does have the technology to do that. Little did I know back then, they weren't going power grid, cell phone, banking. They were going for the grand salami, the pandemic, where they basically engaged in another deep macro deflationary practice of scaring the heck out of the whole world. So instead of being able to bring themselves up, they brought everyone else down a few notches. And that's the way they fought off phase 1 of the trade talks. There's a lot going on between us and China. The saber rattling is certainly intensifying. And if China comes out and says, hey, we're not buying any more U.S. treasuries, or we're actually going to start selling some of our U.S. treasuries, mark my words, folks, the market will be down 5,000 points in about a New York minute. Okay, so don't be so gleeful right now. But Trump could come up with some good ways to appease them. We can get over this COVID, and Trump wins, market's at 35,000, and we're all happy anyway. So that's how I think it's going to end up. We'll take a quick break and end this up right here. Come back right after this with my favorites. John Burnett and David Eisenbach are going to be here to mix it up right after this.